Welcome back to the Goss, everyone. This week we are covering one of our juiciest segments yet, and we shall see how far we get. So the question here is, what do you look for in your best friends? And feel free to give them a shout out. In case you're thinking about sort of forgetting anyone, like feel free to get canceled after this video by your friends. What do you look for in your best friends?
As a very like one-liner answer, I'd say like what I look for in a best friend is just like because I have two sisters, I know what it's like just being very friendly with family. So I look for that kind of vibe in a best friend. And sort of one thing that I've noticed that like kind of like not quantifies, but like substantiates that is if I have like a fight or an argument with a best friend, just like no matter how bad the argument is, just like speaking the next day. That's how it is with siblings, right? You can fight how much ever you want, but like the next day you can just like walk in and watch a movie together. Like that's how it is. And that's how I've noticed it. Like that's how it is with some of my friends. And I think those are the people that are closest to me.
Damn. We've never fought on it. That's a bad sign.
I don't think that's true.
No, I mean not really. We've not really fought. Like not to the level where we go to watch a movie next.
We've definitely had a fight, Joel. I remember you messaging me being like, we should not go to bed angry. I think I relate a lot to what Anuj said. Your friends are the family that you choose, right? And I think that's one big thing. I think there are two things for me. One of them is that they will keep me accountable to myself and they will call me out on my bullshit if I'm trying to do something bad or I'm trying to pretend that something is good. And that's something I value a lot in my friends. And I realize that my closest friends are people like this who will support me whatever I'm doing, but they will still call me out on my bullshit if what I'm doing is not right. And I think that's really important to have in order to keep growing and being a good person. And the second thing is people who are also constantly looking to grow rather than, just being stagnant in life, who are growing emotionally. And so that's what I say.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with what Sheen's saying in terms of like people that are growing around me. I think is really like motivational for me as well. So like that's important. But I think for me, like the most important would be like trust that someone I could tell things and I won't be judgmental towards it, or like that I know that it's not going beyond it's not going beyond like the next person, like it's not being like traveled around and things like that. So I think like just the fact that I can be open with them and know that they are trustworthy, and I think like that's where I add like the most value. Also like people that are supportive and like I guess like aren't like negative in terms of what you're doing, and like are motivating and like overall just being like supportive towards like what you're achieving in life, and vice versa. Like obviously you have to be the same level of supportive, but I think like those two things I value, just like people that are there for me, I guess. But
yeah, I think that just like that just kind of like tracks back to what I was saying as well. It's just like no matter like how much you fight, it's just like that person isn't leaving your life. Like it's kind of like maybe it's a little immature to say, but like you can have that security is that like this person is not going to leave your life. Like you can fight, you can like tell them whatever, you can argue about whatever. They're going to be there.
I mean, for me, fights are still a little. I think about them. If I fight,
I was just gonna say I don't know if I agree with that.
I'm not the best at fights, so like.
I don't think there should be like an excessive amount of fights. Then there's something wrong. Like I think.
Yeah. It depends what the fight is about. So I think like for me it's not like if I have a fight the next day it's back to normal. But I think just knowing like if that person is like supportive and like more importantly like I know they've got my back when I'm not there. Like, I think that's important. And I think you only get like that feeling with like very few people. And that like, regardless of what the third person says, they know like they'll be like on your side of it. So I think
I'll be there for you. Sorry, I had to step in.
did you watch
The Friends reunion plug.
You got the idea for this question from the this thing, right? The
Reunion. Yeah.
Go on, business.
So original, yeah.
I'm sorry.
But in terms of my answer, honestly, like everything you guys said, plus the fact that I feel like whenever, like, I've never really fought with my best friends. Like, if anything, we've always been up for discussions, whatever our different perspectives are. We've always been like understanding of what our different perspectives are and accommodating of it. Shut up, Joel. But
he's everyone's best friend.
Yeah, okay, let's just agree. Okay, we all agree that Joel, you encompass and embody and propagate all of the different,
You're just
like,
the world's
beautiful
best friend.
characteristics that we're saying. Okay, we are all agreed. Now let's go.
Okay, good.
But okay, fine.
I didn't say anything. Go on.
But yeah, what I was saying is that in terms of discussions, like, I feel like best friends are the ones like that I've been able to talk to about anything. Whenever I need to have perspective, they give me the perspective that I need. At the same time, they don't judge. Whatever you do, they're there for you. So like, that's cool for me as well. But yeah, even like what you guys said, like, supporting what Anand said about like no matter what, that like, they'll come back to you and everything's okay. Like, I know for a fact that if I don't talk to my best friends for like a couple of months and then we talk again on a month, like, just because we're busy, we have uni, we have things going on, and then we get on a call, it's like nothing's ever happened. Like it's just normal. So yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone sort of said what I would have possibly said around it. But yeah, two of the most important things for me when I'm sort of looking at all of the millions of best friends that you guys think that I have is number one, they want to watch me win. They don't wish ill upon like, whatever I'm trying to do, whether, it's a small scale hustle or whether it's like, something that I'm going full time into. Like I think that's really important because if they're always trying to bring this sense of negativity and sort of pessimism, I think there's already enough of that in the world. So we don't need more of it. And number two would be sort of understanding, like what Gokul said, understanding the phase of life that you're in. And like, if you're not able to sort of get back to them like ASAP or something like that, you don't take it personally in the sense that it's not because of you, it's just because of what they're up to in their life. And I guess, yeah, just not making you sort of change the person that you are just because like, it's not fitting to their description of like an ideal best friend, whatever. So yeah, I guess those are the three things that I would think
Joel,
of.
are you firing shots or are you
No, I'm really not. I'm being as genuine as possible.
I think like another thing I'd say is like one thing, it kind of changes like circumstantially in terms of like who I speak to every day. Like for example, like it's not necessary that like, let's say for example, tomorrow I move to Romania or wherever, and I'll have like a few people that I'm speaking to every day. And it's possible that like they know more about my daily events than like my friends from like before, like my longer term friends. But yeah, I think like that's also something that is that I might not speak to someone all the time, but like there are some people in my life who I want that they know everything that's happening with me.
Yeah,
maybe not
same.
Immediately, but eventually.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, I mean, even seeing what like Joel said in terms of not changing, I think it's also that they don't like, if they make you feel bad about the way you are, like in any aspect, I think that is also like negative. Like you have to, like everyone has their faults. You have to like embrace like your friends besides that. So I think just like, unless it's like a very bad fault, then that needs to be but like if it is like just like normal things, like just not to make someone else feel bad about like the way they are living life, I think that's,
I mean, given that also, like I want to go back like what Sheen said, like like my best friends will be the ones who will give me shit whenever I make a mistake. Like essentially like they won't sugarcoat it for me just because I feel nice. Like that's the one that's what I expect my best friend. Be as honest as you can because you know me the best. So yeah.
And I think also in terms of like changing and things like that, like they hold you accountable to like who you are.
Accountable, yeah, exactly, yeah.
But so, but I also think like, and like now, like you're just more likely to like not take people's BS. Like I think now I've reached the state where I'm like, okay, if there's even like 1% chance that you are affecting any sort of like my like mindset, like I can be civil, but like it'll just be like, okay, fine, like I'm not gonna deal with it. Like I think I've reached that point. but I don't know whether it's a phase or
Yeah.
not. But
No, I had this conversation with my sister last night actually when we were talking about how some people just make you feel negative, and it's terrible to have them around just because of their behavior. They suck your energy, and then they make you say negative things and feel negative things, and then you're just like, why? I don't need this around. And I think the more you grow up, the more you realize that you should not waste your time on people who don't value your time.
Yeah, and sort of like that ties in more to sort of entrepreneurs, right? Like, as in, you have enough shit going on, and like I think that more drama is never good. Like, as in, it's just I don't have the bandwidth for it. Like, you know, and there's more than enough people to, you know, support me or whatever. If you can't get your shit together, like, you know what I mean?
Joel also encompasses drama. So.
Yeah,
that's how we're all best friends with Joel.
Actually, I encompass way less drama than you. Just so everyone knows.
Shut up.
I just want to say, like, in terms of like tying it back to like entrepreneurship and things like that, I think like having friends are so important. But like, you don't need to have 1,000. Like, you can have few of your like closest friends, and like just because if you want to build something, and like just like I think regardless of entrepreneur or like just your career, like it's something that you need around you. But like, cut that negativity and cut that toxic BS, like literally, because that just adds to everything that you're going through anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep hearing, you know, as you grow older, your circle gets smaller. I mean, that makes sense.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
It's a good thing. Except there's an anomaly in the form of Joel.
He's still young. He's still growing up.
Circle just gets bigger.
As in, maybe you just aren't in the inner circle to know that circle exists, as opposed to, you know, what you see outside and what you're made to believe. So
we are in the outside bigger crowd.
Are you? Ask yourself.
We are on the outside, but I don't know.
We are on the outside. Yeah, that's why we think there's a lot of people.
No, I think like, you know, everyone brings their sort of own thing to the table, and it's up to you at what stage. Like, you know, in second year, I would say at uni, did not have the bandwidth for more than 4 people. That's it. Like, as in, it was literally I think, I'm not going to name any names. Anyways. But like after that, like it took me some time to sort of like overcome certain personal challenges before I was able to accommodate for other people's challenges and like listen to their problems and sort of help them out, because you can't solve other people's problems if you can't solve your own well enough. Like, or maybe you should be prioritizing yourself first. That's what I would say. So, yeah.
And one thing I would add is it's very normal to also outgrow your friends, because sometimes friends that you have very good memories with, you had a very good time with, but then you grow differently and you go into different ways, and it's fine to move on rather than trying to hold on to a friendship that's just no longer there based on memories.
But yeah, so
words of wisdom.
Thank you so much for listening in, everyone. That was this week's episode of the Goss. We hope you will tune in next week for some more juicy content. See you all later. Listen, okay, there's nothing wrong with having more than one best friend, okay?
Yeah, but every week you can't be saying happy birthday to my best friend.
I think you only look at my stories when I say happy birthday to someone. It's not my fault, okay?
Joel has a school wife, he has a uni wife, some shit, I don't know.
Uni?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh, wow.
I guess.
She's going to cancel you now. You go now. Very nice.
No, I mean, whatever.
Why are you looking down?
Oh no, sorry. I was doing. Okay, fine. I'll say that.
Bless him.
He found a comb more interesting than our conversation.
Oh my God, guys! Can we have the title for this video like Founders, but like with the like F.O.U.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, so now it's not basic, huh?
Oh, shut up.
Okay.